The world came to a stop for most of us last year when the pandemic began. Two friends with Cincinnati connections kept that connection alive with their letters, and they are sharing the hope that came out of their communications. One is a corporate executive, one is a journalist, one is white, one is black. Their book is called Hope Interrupted, and this morning I'm joined by Jennifer Mooney and Byron McCauley. It's so good to see both of you, Jennifer and Byron. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Sheila.
Thanks for having us, Sheila. Appreciate it.
So as I mentioned in the lead in there, you both have Cincinnati connections. Jennifer, I know you live out west now. How and when did you two become friends in the first place?
We like to answer this together. Byron, would you like to start?
Sure. So Jennifer was making a big speech. I saw her. I was a journalist at the time, but I was also delving into my some more roots of public relations, and so she had this big speech over at the big Xavier Cintas Center, and I asked her for her speech, and she said, "Well, I don't know if I can give it to you now," but she sent it in an email, and she didn't make me feel bad about myself for asking about it. So there it was, and then we became fast friends because we both kind of realized we had so much in common, believe it or not, and sort of here we are.
And the first time Byron and I had lunch, which was shortly after the speech, going on 10 or so years ago, it turned into an all-afternoon discussion. And for whatever reason, we dove pretty quickly into what you'd call the high hard issues,
Absolutely.
Things like race, religion, parenting, all of those things that we asked each other quite a few questions.
Wow, that's fantastic. So during those 6 months of COVID lockdowns, Black Lives Matter protests, political unrest, all that was going on here last year, Byron, I'll ask you this one first. What did you examine together in your letters to each other?
Oh, wow. Great question. We examined racism. We examined COVID. We examined our children. It was just all this sort of confluence of events that were happening in America. And we just felt like in political unrest, of course. And we just felt like there was some kind of an inflection point that we had to capture. And so Jennifer and I text a lot. We talk a lot. We're always talking about different kinds of things that's going on in our culture. But we thought, we need to just kind of memorialize this, write this down. And that really turned into text, which turned into full-blown letters, which turned into this amazing book, which has even surprised me just how deep we got. I'm rereading it now, and I still sort of I get emotional a little bit just rereading it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a stressful, sad, divisive time for this country. And a lot of us experienced stress and sadness. So Jennifer, how did writing to each other, how did that help you both get through it?
Well, as Byron said, we started writing, frankly, right after George Floyd was murdered. And we said we were going to write for 60 days. I think we both felt that it was cathartic. It felt us get to know each other better. It was something that helped us to process some issues. We were both dealing with parenting challenges too. Me with a daughter who lives on the other side of the world. Byron with kids who didn't have classrooms to go to, things like that. Things at work that were hard to process. I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts, but there were people we knew who died of COVID during this time. And frankly, there was a lot of political unrest in the nation. All of those things, it helped us to feel better day in and day out. And we really believe that our relationship, our authenticity to each other, all those things helped us to process, and similar activities could help others.
Well, I have less than a minute left, but I just want, and either one of you can answer this. You write that when people connect personally, bigotry and hate become less possible. So what do you want people to take from your book?
We want people to take the fact that we are true friends, and we took a chance on each other. And that's what we hope more people will do in their lives. Just take a chance on somebody who may not you may not appear to have things in common with, but you'll find out that you have, deep commonalities.
Yeah.
And we're able to express that to each other.
That's wonderful. Byron and Jennifer, thank you so much. Wish we had more time, but it was beautiful. And the book is too. It's available on the website, hopeinterrupted.com. Stay well, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.